If you don't have an open heart, you can't manifest anything. You're not going to allow yourself to receive it. Self-love is not just go and get your nails done. It's not just about getting massages. It is so much more than that. It's the words that you speak to yourself. It's how you look at your shadows and then how you move through life with that. There's worthiness that sits in the heart space, and we have to allow ourselves find compassion to understand that we are worthy. I am very open about the fact that I'm manifesting wealth and expansion in my life. You have to have the confidence to say, I'm worth it. I deserve it. Not all crystals are for manifestation, and not all manifestation needs the same energy. Hi, I'm Tiffany Cohen, and welcome to the next episode of the Spirit and Soul Podcast. We are talking all about crystals for manifestation today and the ones that are really going to work for you with what you are manifesting. There are such a wide array of crystals out there, and there's so many different kinds. And, you really have to go off of, number one, what is calling to you. However, within that, I want to help you to be able to manifest your heart's desires. And crystals are an incredible asset for you to work with when you're manifesting. The reason being is that crystals are a stable energy. They are a stable energy force, and humans have erratic energy. Humans are bound with our emotions, and our emotions go up and down, and the way that we're feeling is can be a little bit all over the place. So when we work with crystals, we're actually working with that stable energy force for it to help us to balance out our own energy, to vibe high, right? As they say. What I want you to understand is that these crystals that I'm going to share with you, I see them work for people all the time, and they work within my own life. And what I want you to do is make sure that you are staying until the end so that you hear my one crystal that, number one, may just surprise you. And there may be a little bit of a mistake that people make around this crystal. So let's get right into it. Now, number one, what I want to just say is this. You have to really understand what your intentions are when you are working with crystals. So you have to set the intention and then ask the crystal to work with you, okay? Crystals are never just going to solve all your problems. That's not really what they're meant for, right? You have free will. You are the one that's got to work within your own energetic field. You have to work within, your own manifestations, your own healing work. And so a crystal is going to be there to support you, but it's not going to create a miracle in your life unless you're willing to actually invite the miracles in. So I always like to say this to people because they are a wonderful, beautiful tool, but you can't just rely on it to solve your problems. And I kind of see that a little bit more often than I'd like to. So I just want to put that out there, okay? So that's your disclaimer, guys, okay? Now, here's the thing. One of my number one crystals to work with, and if you know me, you know, I love working with pyrite and citrine. Those two are my absolute favorite crystals with a little fire and ice quartz mixed in there. But the reason being is that these crystals help because I am very open about the fact that I'm manifesting wealth and expansion in my life. And so working with pyrite and citrine really invite in wealth. They invite in prosperity. They also invite in the confidence to be able to go for it. And you need confidence to be able to go for the things that you want in your life and to a lot of times ask for the money, right? If you have your own business, if you're setting pricing for yourself, you have to have the confidence to say, I'm worth it. I deserve it. And then to put yourself out there and say, I can help you, right? And that's what working with citrine and working with pyrite. Now you can work with them separately or together for an extra boost of powerhouse energy, but that's what it's going to help you to do. It's going to help you to really bring that confidence forward and help you really shine. So those are going to be my top two for wealth energy, for prosperity and expansion. Now, you always need a little clear quartz or fire and ice quartz in your life. clear quartz, it's the OG, like it's the one that you need the most, because what it's going to do is raise all of the energetic frequency around you. It's going to raise the vibration of you. It's going to raise the vibration of all the other crystals if you want to pair it with crystals, because it really plays well with all of your other crystals that you're going to, start working with. Or if you're not already working with crystals that you're starting to work with, but the ones that you have, that clear quartz is going to help you to really amp it up. And also, one of my favorite things about clear quartz is that it is completely programmable with your intentions. It will hold your intention steady. Now, I want you to think about something for a minute. If you are listening to this and maybe you've never worked with crystals before and you're like, I don't know, isn't this just a rock or whatever it is? I want you to really take a moment, take a step back and think about this for a second. The phone that you're probably watching this on, the screen that you're watching this on, is an LCD screen, liquid crystals. And that crystal that they're working with is clear quartz. The watch that you may have on, also powered by crystals. There are so many things that you utilize in your daily life that actually use crystals, clear quartz in particular, to power it. And the reason being is that clear quartz actually has an extremely stable, what's called piezoelectric activity. That's the electricity that's going on inside of it, and it holds a really, really stable frequency. If you actually rub a clear quartz together in the dark, you will see that piezoelectric activity. You'll actually see it start to like spark. It's so cool to see. So if you haven't tried that, definitely give it a try. It's so fun. But you're working with it every single day. You just don't realize it. So now you can work with it the way that these things are working with it as well. So you can take a clear quartz and you can rub that together and put your intention into that clear quartz. And I'm telling you something right now, that clear quartz will hold the frequency steady of your manifestation. It's absolutely amazing. So it's really amplifying all of the energies, holding that intention steady. And then when you pair it with a crystal like, let's say, citrine or pyrite, it's really helping you to manifest even more levels of wealth. And it's asking you to meet it there. So on the days where you're feeling maybe a little bit in lack or a little bit like, I don't know if I can get this done. I don't know if this is for me, right? And you're doubting yourself. Those are the days that you really want to turn to your crystals and you want to ask it for support, because it's going to ask you to raise that vibration up. And that's what I really, really love about working with crystals. And if you don't know this, I am a crystal energy therapist. So I have so much training in working with crystals. And in my own life, crystals have been profound in healing, in manifesting. And I love to kind of shout from the rooftops what crystals can actually do for you, because we just think that, hey, you know what? They look pretty and, people are kind of obsessed with them, but there's a reason why. And the reason is that they can really be a massive support system in your life. Okay, so here's the thing what I want you to do. If you're loving this conversation and you want to learn more about crystals and rituals and all the different things that I really use in my life to help me manifest some pretty incredible things, what I want you to do is make sure that you are liking and subscribing to this channel so that you are aware of all of our new episodes that we put out. Okay, next up, now this is a controversial one, okay? This crystal is very controversial, and I think it's one of the most powerful crystals that you can use when you are on a transformation journey. And I'm just going to preface this by saying that if we're not growing, we're dying. And we should all allow ourselves to transform into the next level version of ourselves. We dampen that. We put a cap on what is possible. And a lot of times we put the cap on what's possible, and there's many different reasons, and fears and doubts and limiting beliefs. But we put that cap on a lot of times because we fear change in our lives. So it's like we want change, and then yet we fear change. When you start to clear out the fear around the change, you will actually start to allow in that change and prepare yourself for it, to understand that whatever you may have called in a long time ago, and that's in your life right now, that was law of attraction. Like attracts like, right? But as you're growing and you're doing your work, your vibration starts to change. And that doesn't mean that the vibration of everything else changes with it. What that means is that let's say if it comes down to people or even situations in your life, if those people in your life are not actually doing their own work and lifting up their own vibration, there is a chance that what brought you together can no longer keep you together because you can't fight the law of attraction. And so things start to fall. Things start to fall to the wayside. And we fear that. We fear that change. But what if you need that? What if the goals and the dreams and the things that you want require that? What if all along you were unable to reach the goal because these people or these situations or things were actually acting as energetic anchors and you were holding on so tightly because they were just comfortable? There's no growth that happens in your comfort zone. None. And so when we fear change, we're just not allowing our own transformation to occur. So start getting very comfortable with being uncomfortable. Start getting comfortable with living with one foot outside of, or maybe both feet outside of the comfort zone, as I have done. And in so doing, I've been able to create the most wonderful things in my life, incredible things, businesses and trips and money and all the different things because I allowed change to happen. And so leading into our next crystal, people fear this one because you've heard the stories and you may know where I'm going with this right now. Okay. It's Moldavite. Moldavite is a stone of transformation, and Moldavite has a reputation. It's infamous, and it's infamous because it creates transformation really, really fast, and you got to be ready for it. You have to be ready. I remember my husband's friend, he wanted me to pick him out a Moldavite. And I was like, okay, listen, get him on the phone because my husband just texted me this. And he's like, oh yeah, so-and-so wants a Moldavite. And I'm like, put him on the phone because I know he doesn't work with crystals and I need to, he's just jumping right into Moldavite. We need to have a chat. So he gets on the phone and I say, listen, I'm more than happy to get you a Moldavite from the shop. And what I want you to understand is that when you work with Moldavite, you have to be ready to just let go. That the Moldavite is going to show you what is no longer aligned with you. And it's going to make you uncomfortable. And it's going to push you in ways that you just have to be ready for. And you have to just be willing to let go. You have to be willing to let all the things go that the Moldavite is going to bring up into your life. And the way that Moldavite works is it kind of works through chaos a little bit. I think it works through chaos in the beginning, but that's just my own experience with it. But it works through chaos because in order to build something beautiful, you kind of have to have chaos, right? Like, I mean, the actual universe was created with chaos energy, right? And then it becomes orderly, but you got to let it go. And I prefaced him by saying this, and I was like, all right, so do you want me to get this Moldavite? And he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And I don't know if he just wasn't really a believer in it or thought that like only good things would come, even if I was warning him. Now, what you have to understand is it's not all bad things happen. It's just showing you what needs to go, and you have to be the willing participant to let go. So there were all these things that came up for him. And I'm laughing. I shouldn't be laughing. But, I warned him. And he's like, take this Moldavite back. He's telling Sandra, I said, we don't take crystals back. And I warned him. So he's going to have to find someone to give it to. So he wasn't ready for it. But you can be. I was absolutely ready for working with Moldavite in my life. And Moldavite is such a beautiful crystal because it's going to show you what is not in alignment. Like for me, I want to move fast. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I don't want to be held back by anything. I don't want to waste my time with people and with situations and with things that aren't aligned with the next level version that I want to be, that I am looking to be, that I'm growing into. And so show me the way. And I know that I have to also face whatever that is. And I have to be okay with that. And so anything that was put in my path, I was okay with letting go. And on the other side of the letting go is the magic. The other side of the letting go is the beauty, because that's when order starts to come in. That's when the empowered next level version of you she's waiting there, and she's waiting there and saying, like, good thing you let that go. Good thing you let that one go, is dragging you down. Right. And the Moldavite is just the one that's going to show you that. So Moldavite is an absolutely incredible tool for transformation energy. Now, if you are like, I don't know if I'm ready for that, that's fine, because Moldavite also, when you hold it, it does give you physical sensations. So Moldavite is actually not so much of a crystal. It's called a tektite. So what happened was a huge meteor came down. It crashed with Earth near the Czech Republic area, and it created its own stone. So you have in this a mix of cosmic energy and earthly energy. That's what gives it its power. So for some people, it does give you, like, they call it the Moldavite flush, where you might get a little bit red when you're using it. It does take you very high, very fast. So you can feel like a rush of energy. So if that's just not comfortable to you, which for some people it's just not, and they're not ready for it, then that's fine. Working with something maybe like a charoite would be great. Charoite, another great stone. It's not going to give you the same punch that the Moldavite will, but maybe that's what you need in the moment. But I love a good charoite. I always keep charoite on my desk to remind me to allow transformation to occur. So charoite, another really great one. Okay. Now, the next one, and probably something that we see a lot at Spirit and Soul, is people looking to really heal their heart and maybe get into alignment with their heart. And one that, I feel like, another OG, another basic B stone, right, is going to be a rose quartz. But what I want to say is, like, rose quartz is a necessity in your life. And there's a reason that rose quartz and amethyst and clear quartz are so popular, right? There's a reason for it. It's because they are super powerful. So rose quartz is really helping your heart to get into alignment with what it wants, what it needs, what makes it expand. And it also helps you to find compassion and self-love. And at the end of the day, if you are looking to manifest love, it has to start with you. It's got to start with self-love. And it's very interesting when I look at it, because of anything self-love that we do at Spirit and Soul, I feel like it doesn't sell, because people think that they have self-love. But self-love is not just go and get your nails done. And it's not just about getting massages on a girl's day. Like, it is so much more than that. It's the words that you speak to yourself. It's how you look at your shadows, and then how you move through life with that. And there's a certain compassion that has to come with that for yourself. And a lot of times we don't have compassion for ourselves. So rose quartz is an absolutely amazing stone to work with, to get to know, not just for manifesting love, but for your heart space. You need to understand something. Rose quartz will help you to open that heart. And if you don't have an open heart, you can't manifest anything. You're not going to allow yourself to receive it. There's worthiness that sits in the heart space. And we have to allow ourselves to find compassion, to understand that we are worthy. And these stones are going to help you to do that. It's going to help you, along with your own, of course, work outside of the stones. That's why I'm saying, like, you can't just rely on the stones. It's the stones and the inner work in order to really clear the energies, to clear it all. So these are my favorites for you to begin to work with. And of course, there's so many other different intentions. I would love to hear from you. What are your intentions? And I would love to guide you in the right direction to some of my favorite crystals as a crystal energy therapist to help you on your manifesting journey. Now, here's the thing, okay? You got to cleanse these crystals, my friends. And the way that you store them and work with them properly is making sure that you have selenite, making sure that you are putting the crystals that you're using the most onto that selenite to cleanse out that energy. So make sure that you have a nice chunky piece of selenite, honestly, multiple pieces, depending on how many crystals you have, and make sure that you are cleansing those crystals because they will pop if they have absorbed too much energy, especially a stone like, we didn't go over it, but like a black tourmaline or something like that, because it's protection energy, a hematite, anything like that that's protecting your energy. You have to make sure that you're cleansing, and you want to make sure that you're cleansing these as you're using them. Okay. So make sure that you are using that selenite to cleanse them. You can use incense. You can use your own energy healing, Reiki energy. Okay. So now you have this crystal. Now what, right? Well, I love to meditate with them. I like to put them on my physical body. So if you are working with wealth and expansion, maybe putting a citrine on your heart and a pyrite on your belly to like open up that solar plexus would be great. Rose quartz on your heart space. Okay, amazing. Moldavite, just hold it in your hand, okay? I made the mistake once of when I was first working with Moldavite and becoming a crystal energy therapist of putting that Moldavite on my mom's third eye for a healing. And I'm surprised. She was like, that was intense. So caution there, okay? Just hold it. Either way, you don't have to just put them on your body. You can just hold them and just ask them to work with you. Set your intention into motion. You can't just hold them and think that it knows, that it's going to know what you need it to do, want it to do. So ask them to work for you. Now, here's the thing, guys. A lot of times the common mistakes that I see with working with crystals is that, this is the one that I see the most, is that you forget what the crystal is. And then so because you don't know what it's for, you just leave it on the side and you actually don't work with it. No. Okay. You can, number one, take a picture of it, ask Google. It will find out what crystal it is. If you bought something from Spirit and Soul, we make sure that on your receipts, which are emailed to you, that so you could just do a search for it, that we have all the meanings on there. So you can search for the meaning, you can search for the crystal, whatever it is, and you can find out what it's for in that way. Okay. The one crystal that I'm going to say that people are sleeping on. Okay. People are sleeping on this one. It's lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is going to be a powerhouse energy for you. It works well with every single one of the stones that I mentioned. And working with lapis on your third eye, working with it, even just holding it or working with it with the other crystals will help to expand all of the energies in a way that clear quartz doesn't, right? It's an amplifier, clear quartz, but what labradorite is doing is tapping into your inner magic to help you to embody it. Okay. So it's going to help you to embody it. There's a confidence that comes with it. There's this beautiful energetic frequency that helps you to move forward in the manifestation. So that is the one that I'm going to say is the powerhouse stone that you need to work with every other crystal on this list that I just gave you. So here's the deal, guys. We have every single one of these crystals always in stock at Spirit and Soul Studio. Make sure that you go and visit us at www.shopspiritandsoulstudio.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Spirit and Soul Studio. I would love to hear about what you're manifesting. What do you need help with? Me, as well as all of the other incredible team members that I have here at Spirit and Soul, are so excited to help you manifest your best life. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast.